All right, well, the home renovation boom continues. The U.S. Census Bureau reports 59% of homeowners did home improvement projects during the pandemic, and 2022 saw even more growth.
Yeah, but with this boom also comes a lot of confusion and higher costs. Joining us now to talk about some of the renovation trends and how to save money is Koda Wang, CEO and co-owner of New York City's Block Renovation. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. People love to hear about some of the trends that are out there, new and coming. So what are people doing to change things? Let's start with the bathroom.
Sure. Oh, thanks for having me on. So I think one of the big things to keep in mind is that the real estate market is cooling off, and people are starting to renovate for different reasons. So if you're less likely to buy a new home and you're going to live in your current home longer, you may want to invest in it to make your home more comfortable. So we're seeing people do fewer renovations just for the sake of ROI, just for the sake of retail, and more for enjoying the actual time that they're in that home. People are spending less time in the office, more time at home, and they want to be comfortable. And so we're seeing more play, more experimentation, not just doing something neutral for resale. And this makes a lot of sense. The bathroom and your kitchen are some of the most important spaces in your home, and they're also some of the most important renovations. The homeowners are spending $200 billion a year on them alone.
So my wife likes to watch these house shows, and I always worry that I'll come home one day and there'll be a sledgehammer and there'll be a hole in the wall. Do you have
a hole in your wallet?
A hole in the wall, the hole in the wall. Do you have to do a full renovation? I mean, can you do a little things here and there? I mean, what do you say?
Yeah, you may not need to do a full renovation to have a visual difference in your home. Some people can do a light renovation. You just do a fresh coat of paint, change your vanity, sink, medicine cabinet, mirror, a new light. That alone can do wonders.
What about color trends? Because I feel like those change all the time. The all-white kitchen, all white, has been really hot for the past few years. But is that still a thing out there?
Yes, but it's becoming less of a thing. So white is still the #1 choice for cabinets, backsplashes, walls. But gray is the next most common color, and it's on the rise. And what we've seen over the past couple of years is that people are leaning more into natural, earthy textures and colors. So it's not a surprise that people will be drawn to some of these natural palettes that are more reminiscent of the outdoors. So we're seeing a lot of warm neutrals, earthy, red tones, natural materials like wood, natural materials like stone, basically creating inviting, calming spaces with more depth, with more texture.
Now another thing people take into consideration really is decluttering, right? What are some renovation strategies really to minimize the clutter? Yeah,
so minimizing clutter and cleaning are a no-brainer for the practical homeowner. Some of the strategies we've seen are minimizing open storage. Now, open shelving can look beautiful in a magazine, and it can be kind of seductive, but it can also create clutter. It can create chaos. It's hard to match objects with each other when you have open shelving. It's a lot more work to maintain. So we actually recommend that you minimize the open storage so you can keep your curation and cleaning requirements to a minimum. And then also one tactical tip is to have your cabinetry extend to the ceiling when you're doing new kitchen cabinets so you can remove another surface that you have to dust.
I feel like then I got to climb on everything because I'm so short.
Yes.
I can't get to anywhere. Are there ways to save when it comes to renovation? Because you can talk about all these things, but all I think about is price tag, price tag, price tag. Is there a way to to have it look good and not be so difficult but save money?
Yeah. Fundamentally, one of the biggest ways that you can save is making sure you work with the right partner, making sure you figure out the right contractor. A lot of people feel like when they work with the wrong partner, they start with a price of X and it ends up being 2X. So one of the most important things is find somebody that you trust, somebody who is licensed, somebody who's insured, somebody who has been doing this for quite a while. The second thing is making sure that they are following good construction standards. So contractors that have good construction standards for waterproofing and carpentry and plumbing and insulation, this will save you money in the long run. You don't want to have a leak that's going to cost you way more 5-10 years from now if you can take the appropriate waterproofing measures today.
All right.
And then finally, I'd say be smart about your materials choices. Don't use marble if Caesar stone will do the trick. Don't necessarily go for handmade tiles if you can be happy with porcelain tiles. These are just some tips and tricks that you can get a similar beautiful outcome without having to spend a lot of money.
That's the answer. All right, Koda, thanks so much for being with us and sharing your tips today. And for more information or design ideas, you can follow Block Renovation on Instagram.